only seen in dreams of my unconscious mind. My dreams unrefined, spring to mind, a state of mind that make it seem this lucky life of mine is pre-designed. And if it is, to thank the Lord, cause that's the mastermind. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Salute when you see me. That jealousy is an ocean and you either float or you sink. Moment of truth, credit check, you not approved. BB King, I'm in love with the blues. Don't start me up, I got finishing moves, look. Salute when you see me. Slid through all the commotion, it's breaking news, they got an ad on TV. Popping out on them, I'm politicking, probably in a section where you not permitted. My honey's matching my Dodger fitted, playing all go, ain't no stopping in it. Look, salute when you see me, I bought her a CC and that was her purse. Disgusting with do for a purse, disgusting with do for the clout. I'm one of the realest could vouch. They thought I was done, but all that doubt, you gotta play my mix around. Salute when you see me. Put in the car to my runner, get to you speedy. Still thugging like the days when they weren't hearing my CD. Made it out of the trenches, just salute when you see me. Yeah, salute when you see me. I'm getting greedy, I blow to her budget on me, that's on me, I'm conceited. Treaty, nah, that ain't how we treat it. This right here sound like a three-peat. I put the in it sound like I'm knee-deep, I'm like, oh, you too needy. Me and HB going Juvie and BG, they gotta put my face on the box of Wheaties. I'm praying for whoever think they compete. Salute when you see me. That's all he ever, so that's how you greet me. I'm going TM 101 cheesy, and plus they got D2 on repeat. I'm with the love of my life in like 3 weeks, cause that's all I needed. She wanna go on a trip and retreat, but I'm sorry, I never retreated. I set the bar so high that you might as well leave it. I'm going undefeated, I've broken the system, had to breach it, that's mission impossible, mission completed. Salute when you see me.
They love their crab cakes and they love their football. That's what Maryland does. And we are at M&T Bank Stadium down near the inner harbor of Baltimore. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Cleveland Browns. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. On play action, Fields. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play there on the first play of the game. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively. No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It can be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage. A terrible spot for a holding call as he'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. They go back to the ground, this time Mostert. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A tackle credited to Deshaun Elliott, the safety. Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself your best chance to win. So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble. And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Now Fields on 3rd and goal. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. No, there certainly wasn't a lot going on in that play. Every option in the end zone covered. No place to go with the ball. Had to swing it out to the back. A good job running and getting him tackled in the open field. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on fourth. They'll try and run for it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Browns take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. The extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. So this game of our, Charles, you know, the talk of the NFL world all week. 2 unbeaten teams. You rarely see such a matchup this deep into a season.
I would agree with that because normally you might get one team undefeated for a while. But 2 teams like this, and I remember in preseason, you looked at schedules and said, I think these 2 are on a collision course. It'd be interesting to see if they actually get there, and they did. And to me, the winner of this game has to wear the crown of Super Bowl favorite.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race.
He's running.
He takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Bass on for the extra point. And it's good. And they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. Good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
2nd and 1. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll run right side with Mostert. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright?
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. The kick by Bass is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So a great first quarter continues here as they add on to that lead.
And Brandon, I think it sets up what's going to be an important drive because it's now 17-0. So the other guys, they got to figure out something quick before this game gets away from them.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Flushed. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Myles Garrett. What a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Steps away. This is caught. It's Brown. Touchdown! Marquise Brown, 83 yards. And the Ravens get a bit closer. Even though he was forced from the pocket, still able to adjust, make the long throw, and it ends with a really big touchdown.
Yeah, moving to his left. The key to everything when they're moving outside of the pocket, doesn't matter which side, making sure those shoulders get around and you get back square so you can get everything on the throw and create the big play we just saw there downfield.
And bring this out to the 25. No return there for Hardman. The Browns drive about to get started. They're at the halfway point of the season, Charles, 8-0. What a great start. Clearly a Super Bowl contender, if not the outright favorite, to 2 months to win the whole thing.
Well, there aren't too many bad things you can say right now because this team is playing pretty well. They've had a couple of injuries. That could plague them down the stretch. But their intensity doesn't waver. I think the road to the Super Bowl is going to go through them in the playoffs. And if you're on their road, things could be bumpy for you.
From the gun on 3rd down, Fields. He's going to rifle one deep left side. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play that time for Cleveland. On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
Finding Hardman here over the middle. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Here's Fields. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the campaign and 4th overall. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet.
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Back to throw here. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off at the 39. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a handoff as they run left side. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Second and 5 now. Fields. That's Samuel, caught left side. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. To throw is Fields. Touchdown, Browns. Mecole Hardman, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this ball game, clearly the game of the year so far. It's not very often that you find 2 unbeaten teams playing each other this late in the season, but that's what we have here, 2 heavyweights in the NFL.
You're right about that, and you think about recent memories, so let's take a little ginkgo right now and go down memory lane, right? 2007, 7-0 Colts, 8-0 Patriots. The Pats won 24-20. They ended up going 16-0 in the regular season before they lost in the Super Bowl against the Giants. How about 2015? 6-0 Broncos, 6-0 Packers. Denver won 29-10. And in 2020, Steelers and Titans were both 5-0. Pittsburgh won that one.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. On the move to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Myles Garrett, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Fights off the defender. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season. But this... And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off at the 46. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, we want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. On play action, they'll throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, That worked quite well for the defense.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off near the 42. And some space here. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Here's Bass now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit.
And Andrews lost the football. And I think the Browns got it. They did. And some room to roam now.
So, partner, that play broke huge. And when you can get a guy into the open field after the catch, he does actually turn into a running back. But in this case,
that's not his role.
No, not ultimately, because he didn't do what? He didn't secure the football. And if he had done that, that play would have been spectacular. Instead, he turns it over.
Yeah, a big play, all for naught. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Marlon Mack, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Fields now to throw. He's going to try and go deep again. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are pouring it on. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's 2nd and 8. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Back to throw now on first down. Slings it to Andrews, and it's complete. The tight end has it. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. They're going to look to throw. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. They'll set up a throw. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that is incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Here's Sam Cook now, as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. And he's brought down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Taking a shot for Samuel. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Deebo Samuel, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns continue to roll. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. With it on the return is Logan. Deep in his home territory, he coughs up the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD. And that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
And to give this time to the tailback. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with the lead. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. With it on the return is Logan, and able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
They go play action here on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Come on, QB, come on.
Oh, he fakes a spike. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. Well, they tried to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down. Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
He'll look to throw. Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. And now here is another interception. John Johnson with the INT. And the Browns are going to take over at their own 41. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing, they're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
On 2nd down, Mostert. And he drops the ball. And the Ravens have got it. But he has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
He's going deep for Brown. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to get it back here just past the 35. Boy, so another interception, CD. And it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play. Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good, soft in spots. And there's an easy throw and catch for another first down.
And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively, and it'll bring up second down. Second and 10, Fields again. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. A big play that time for Cleveland. On the handoff, this is Mostert. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Ahead of the chains now, second and 2. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Raheem Mostert with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Browns are pouring it on. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. With it on the return is Logan. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people would think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And it work his way across the 30 to the 32. 67 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Now I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They'll look to throw here. Going for the deep ball. And now here is another interception. Picked off by John Johnson. And the Browns are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Flush to his right. And Fields going to have the first down before sliding to a halt to avoid the contact.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. Now it's Fields. Forced out to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. A play fake, now Fields to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. A handoff running left is Mostert. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Raheem Mostert with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Shaun Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the Browns continue to roll. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. With it on the return is Logan. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more? Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Here's a handoff to Mostert running left. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Once again, it's Mostert. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 115 yards rushing for him in this one as he starts to draw nearer to a 1,500-yard campaign. Here's Mostert. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Raheem Mostert with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Browns get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. With it on the return is Logan. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now they try the right side here. He's to the 10. And he's all the way down to the 6-yard line.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
Well, they made the play there, and I'll guarantee you their coaches and the other players are screaming at them about their pride. Come on, guys. He's already gotten in 3 times. You can't give up a 4th one. And on that play, they were able to make the stop.
And you knew they were going to go to him to try to get that 4th.
And why wouldn't they?
And this time he is in.
Yes.
Raheem Mostert becoming just the 2nd player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Browns add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Tyler Bass now for the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. With it on the return is Logan. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And that unbeaten record very much in jeopardy. It's been a great first few months of the season so far, but they have run into a buzzsaw here, trailing big in the 4th quarter. The tackle by Matthew Ioannidis. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The Ravens on 3rd down. A very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st. 80 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Ravens on 3rd down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 9. They'll get their receiver involved here. It's Brown. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And now the up man has it. It's a fake. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool him. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. And now here's a carry heading left. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They hand it off to Mostert. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And
he's in for the score. And his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
They seemingly just continue to score at will. And as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win, but one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them. Because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
An opening there on that 1st down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Bass on for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. With it on the return is Logan. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And after all those wins that they've reeled off, it seems that they finally have met their match in a big 4th quarter hole. But still, what a run. And now here is another interception. He's picked off at his own 46. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. 162 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Mostert. And he's got some space here. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. With it on the return is Logan. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
Towards the end zone for Brown. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Here we go.
On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. A gain of 3, second down. Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. It's taken to the 26. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game, and we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. With it on the return is Logan. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game.
Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And he will not make it to the goal line as this try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. With it on the return is Logan. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. So now on comes the field goal unit. And this will be a, shall we say, a rather optimistic try here. And supreme confidence in the kicker turns to supreme failure, as that is obviously no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, he does have a good leg, I'll give him that, but not that good.
Not by a long shot.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, first down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to third down. They'll try and run here with Mostert. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Well, they were looking to pick up the first down on 3rd and short. They got a little more than they bargained for, finding the end zone as well.
And oftentimes in short yardage situations, you get a lot of defenders stacked near the line of scrimmage, partner. So if you can get past that first wave, there's usually room to roam, and he found it.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Cleveland, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll return home next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, it's their first stumble of the season as they'll dip to 8-1 on the year. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire